Okay, so today, guys, I'm going to be giving you everything you need to know about the Apocalypse Rising 2 vehicle update. So it came out on January 6th, and there's a lot of cool stuff that came with it. It definitely is a much needed update to the game, and it really helps with gameplay. So first thing we're going to look at is vehicles. So vehicles, as it's called, is the vehicle update. These are the main focus of the new update, and there are 10 land vehicles and 5 boats. Now, I've seen a lot of the boats. I've seen police, fishing, a lifeboat, a speedboat, and then there's one more. I haven't seen it yet, but those boats are pretty good. You repair them just like you do the cars. They have fuel, and they can move outside of the map. Now, I wouldn't recommend going down the channel in between the two, I guess, major islands, as that can be really dangerous. I tried it, and right away I ran into somebody and got caught in a firefight. Um, but those are definitely useful. They're definitely cool. And I would recommend, if you come across a boat and you don't have a car, take the boat. Of those boats, definitely look into police boats if you really trying to use something long term, or a lifeboat. Both of those cover you pretty well, with the lifeboat fully encapsulating you, so you're completely protected there. And they go pretty fast, and they're awesome. So, and then this is pretty cool because they were planned. They hadn't came out in forever, and as long as Apocalypse Rising 2's been out, you kind of think they would have came out by now, but now they're finally out, and this is something we didn't see in Apocalypse Rising 1. Boats were not a thing there, but vehicles were, and that takes us into vehicles. So we see some repeats from Apocalypse Rising 1, like the Jeep, the Ural, the 4x4, and there's also 7 other vehicles that you'll come across. I'll leave those for a mystery. So in case any of you players want to be excited by what you come across, there you go. And I can give a tip on those. Do not leave the car in bad condition and use it in bad condition. Zombies and players can run at the speed of a bad car. It is pretty unbearable too. Also, if your wheels aren't repaired, you are like bouncing up and down, fully just the wheels are wobbling. It looks bad. I did end up actually dying in a bad car once. It is not the move. People can easily catch up to you, surround you, and get you with that. But Apocalypse Rising 1 had these vehicles. They're in Apocalypse Rising 2, and they're just as useful in Apocalypse Rising 1 as 2. You can move around the map fast. They are loud, so you can get spotted from it, but they're definitely worth the trade-off. The fast movement is awesome. And as well, uh, the truck is the one I used. I used a bad truck and a good truck. The bad truck is where I'm talking about, where it just hopping around and stuff. You do not want those. A good truck can go really fast. It can get you from point A to point B fast, and they are really enjoyable too. They look nice, but the whole game looks nice. So it's a pretty good thing. I love the vehicles. Good update. And then some other stuff came in as well. Most notably, new locations. So new locations, we're looking at oil rig, regional airport, bunkers, and mansion. Those are the 4 major ones that came in. Oil rig, I've went on twice. It is odd because in most places in Apocalypse Rising, you cannot have a self-sustainable, isolated area. The oil rig is self-sustainable and it's isolatable. So if you really wanted to, you could base on that island. It would give you food, it would give you water, so everything you need, and it spawns some pretty good guns and pretty good outfits. And while it does spawn zombies, so it won't be clear 24/7, there's only one way up into the rig, and you have to either swim or use a boat to get to it. So you're going to be able to see people at a distance, especially if you're guarding it well, and you're just going to have to guard one stairwell, and you've uh, you've basically locked it down. I mean, if you want to base somewhere, use the oil rig. The only problem with the oil rig is if people come with boats, they can move at a distance and shoot at you. Although they will not be able to get into the oil rig, it can get excruciatingly painful having to avoid the outer limits of the rig because someone's sniping at you. But oil rig is definitely a cool one. I've tried that out. It's really nice. Then we go to regional airport. It's basically a downgraded version of the Naval Air Station. It's nice. You get some pretty good loot there. I would recommend it. And it brings something to the corners of the map. So in that island, you're only seeing University and maybe Hartford, I believe, as your main tourist destinations there to collect loot. Regional Airport brings a pretty good balance to that. So now you have a reason to go up there in the northeast part of that island. And I would recommend going in the middle. There's some pretty good loot, especially in the military tents. I found some pretty good stuff there. Then bunkers, I haven't really explored those yet, but I see a lot of zombies there, and it looks like a lot of good loot too. I've heard you can get some pretty good Soviet weapons there, so I guess it's like Soviet oriented or something. And then the mansion. The mansion looks nice. It's probably spawns good loot, but it is very open, and running up to it's going to be difficult, especially along the southern part of the biggest island with mansion bunkers and one of the major cities. Along that southern part of that island, you will find some fantastic vehicles. You will find like a ton of guns, but you will find a ton of players there. I definitely would avoid staying away from it. I'll highlight it on the map in a red zone here. Yeah, that down there, right there, is not where you want to be if you're not looking for a fight. And then some other minor updates to mention. Cosmetic updates. Gun skins have just now came in. You can also find different types of infected, which I kind of found interesting. The thing that came across more interesting to me was you can find infected where they belong. So zombies that are farmers will spawn in the farmer area. They have the outfit. They'll basically match the environment. And military zombies spawn around military stuff like the helicopter crash. The helicopter crash does not move again. That is a APOC 2 feature only. In Apocalypse Rising 1 it moved. In Apocalypse Rising 2 it does not move. That was also pre-update too. And another thing to mention is about the vehicles. Upgrading is also a thing, so you can upgrade your vehicles. Like I said, don't get a trash vehicle, it'll be a pain. But it is also a pain to upgrade the vehicles. Finding stuff is not hard. Taking stuff to the vehicle is really difficult. Inventory is limited, especially if you don't have a backpack, and it can be a pain. But overall, I really like this update. I enjoy it. I'm back into playing it. I'm trying to monitor and limit myself, but I don't know. It's pretty hard to do with such a great update on the game. I'm definitely happy with Gus's update, and I would say this kind of revolutionizes it. And one more thing, so if you haven't paid for the game and are thinking about it, like I said, I have some gameplay footage here where you can kind of base what you think about it. It is now 300 Robux. It went down in price, and if you're thinking about buying it, 300 Robux is still a lot, but it's not as much in comparison to the 1,000 it started at. So that's always an option too. If you want to start playing, you can. I noticed a player count update or boost. So it used to be 100 players on average. Now it's like 500, 400. It's pretty insane. And it's not filled with hardcore players now. You got some easier players where you can battle against and they won't just destroy you every time. I used to get destroyed. Now I'm like mid-tier, I guess. I'm not the best, but I'm not the worst either. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Peace out.